This week, developers shipped practical tools for two related problems. 1. Scaffolds for model context protocol servers. 2. Observability gates that revoke agent permissions when telemetry shows failures. We also cover a SQL undo tool, P2C routing advice, and design math for rounded corners. 3 posts stood out. MCP server template, a TypeScript Node.js scaffold using Zod, Pinot, Vitest, and sbuild, producing a single dist index.js, and CI that publishes to NPM and the MCP registry. SQL RecycleBin captures delete and update per table. V1 is source available under Polyform non-commercial. LEASH, a Signals-based gateway that demotes agent tiers when open telemetry traces and alerts indicate failures. MCP server template gives teams a scaffold with Zod validation per tool. Pinot logs to stdr, and an sbuild single file bundle to avoid shipping node modules. It includes Vitest tests and a GitHub Actions workflow to publish to NPM and the MCP registry. SQL RecycleBin captures delete and update per table, so you can query and undo instead of restoring backups. V1 is source available, and commercial licensing is planned for production. LEASH prototype uses a metric alert on LEASH tool calls total, filtered to apply migration and outcome equals error, with a threshold of 3 over a 5-minute window. Signals posts a webhook, and the broker demotes the agent, returning 403 with a trace ID linking to the failure spans. 2 mechanics matter. MCP template separates schema, definition, and handler, so Zod rejects malformed payloads with clean errors, and Stdio stays healthy. sbuild produces one dist index.js to avoid shipping node modules. LEASH emits OpenTelemetry spans for calls and decisions. The leash.policy.decision span carries tier and verdict. Denials include a trace ID you can paste into Signals to see the failure history. 2 patterns to note. Supervisor pattern. A manager delegates tasks to specialized worker agents, so each worker handles a focused responsibility and preserves context. XMAP treats the header row as a schema, rows as instances, and columns as lazy properties. Cells can be values, functions, or predicates, making wiring and contracts explicit. QuickOps context. Java virtual threads let one instance handle about 50,000 concurrent requests, but round-robin balancing can hurt P99 latency. Use P2C with EWMA for O1 routing decisions. A VPS incident showed CPU rising from 15 to 20% up to 100% for nearly 4 hours after compromise. Email takeaways. RFC 7208 caps SPF lookup evaluation at 10 DNS querying mechanisms. Use 2048-bit DKIM keys, and Google flags spam complaint rates above 0.3%. Design detail. Concentric border radius. To keep nested corners visually parallel, set inner radius r equal to outer radius r minus inset p. R equals r minus p. Browsers scale radii if sums exceed side length. Use per axis radii when padding differs. Limitations to keep in mind. SQL RecycleBin v1 is source available under Polyform non-commercial. Commercial use requires a license. LEASH prototype hardcodes tiers and 1 alert. It needs configurable risk classification. MCP server template eases plumbing, but handler logic and auth remain your responsibility. Operational detectors can misfire. The P2C crawler recorded 272 changes and produced incorrect labels until parser and cadence bugs were fixed. 2 practical moves. Use templates that enforce validation, structured logging, and single-file builds to shorten dev time. Add observability-driven enforcement that demotes agents when telemetry shows failures. For databases and high-throughput services, add an undo capture and P2C with EWMA routing. Make detectors conservative. Require burst evidence, not just infrequent crawls. All source links are in the description. Read the original posts for code, configs, and detailed caveats. The exact links are below.